Get ready at your leisure, fans. Adventure is upon us as my friend Mark Yardley and I are headed towards Mesquite to try out some rather unique sporting clays. Then, Ria and I are headed back to Montana to live the prospector's lifestyle as we try our hand at gold panning. Finally, Reece Stein is going to show us how to see the sun after midnight as he takes us to the most northern town in the world. It's all sailing your way. At Your Leisure is next. You know, Mark, I feel like I should have Olympic scorecards here. 9, 8.5. Ah, hit the ground. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth. Joining me today for the show is Mark Yardley, our friend from Eagles Landing. And, you know, Mark was telling me about this really cool gun club that he used to go to years ago. And strangely enough, it's still open today. It's called Smoking Gun, and it's just outside Mesquite, Nevada, across the Arizona border.
Yeah, great place. It used to be called the Oasis Gun Club years ago. We used to come here. It's been 20 years since I've been out here, but we've had a lot of fun. Great place, many good times.
So they offer all kinds of different target practice, from pistols to trap to skeet to 5-station. We're going to just take a look and see what kind of things are available to you when you come down here.
Here at the Smoking Gun, we have sporting clays, trap, skeet, ZZ bird shooting, and pistols. We actually have several different corporate shoots, Ducks Unlimited, that come down here every year. And on those days, we're running 200, 250 people through the gun club. We used to come down here. It's what brought my family to Mesquite to begin with, was the gun club. And of course, the Mesquite motocross track. My kids raced, and we all shot. And so it was a perfect location for us to come during the wintertime. Little vacation, spend 2-3 days down here, and we always had a blast. It was closed. There was some hard times for the casinos, and they closed this portion of their company. Which is the motocross track and the gun club. And in doing that, I think it was closed for about 4.5 years before we purchased it and then started cleaning up. The Oasis Gun Club, when it was the Oasis, was one of the more popular gun clubs in the country, which still today, I don't think you can go to any other gun club and not find people who have shot here. The activities in town are gambling, golfing, and razor riding. You know, that's one of the unique things about this place is our property. You can park at our property, unload, and go all the way to the Grand Canyon and back from here. There's hundreds of miles of riding up in these hills and out in the desert.
Mark, that looks a little harder than what they were doing before.
Yes, skeet shooting's definitely more challenging than trap shooting. You got the side-to-side going instead of the straightaway.
Well, what I've learned a lot about trap and skeet, obviously that they're two different sports, but what I didn't know is that you don't just have one shotgun for everything. They're kind of specialized now.
You need almost a different shotgun for every sport out here. And a lot of that depends on the patterns that you want, how close the targets are, how far away from the yards, depending on the choke that you're going to want to run.
Well, we're going to get out and try our hand at it. He's rusty. I'm inexperienced. We're going to do that when we come back after our break. Right now, it's time for us to go to our Where To adventure. You know, there are a lot of iconic things about living in the West. Going out hunting birds with your shotgun is one of them. But another one is gold panning, as Ria and I found out recently on a trip to Montana. Woo. Whoops, I'm so excited I almost fell over. We are going prospecting for gold. Now, this is not any tourist trap, you know, get some little pieces of iron pyrite, you think you're excited. We're out with a prospector named John Berriman, and you sign up for his class, $150, a whole day. He'll take you out, give you lunch, and teach you how to actually pan for gold. And he made me a promise. He said, when you set up, you go out with me for a day, you'll get gold. So we are up in a stream in Montana, and we're about to learn how to set up panning and sluice box and get some gold.
And I can't wait, because when we get that gold, we're going to get ourselves a brand new car.
The dream of striking it rich has always pushed man to take risks, whether the dream is a new car or a castle. But with the art of gold panning almost lost to the ages, treasure in this vein may not be measured in nuggets, but rather in knowledge.
Because there's a lot of gold miners around here, but I couldn't get none of them to teach me. So I go to the library, and I got every book I could possibly get. I would have probably paid $1,000 for somebody to teach me back then, instead of me doing all of the reading. I'll teach you what to look for, the different colors in the soil. That makes a lot of the difference. Redder the soil is better. Always remember, redder is better.
John also claims that success in gold panning lies as much in shape as it does in shade. It's important to know how the bends in a river will point to where the banks are infused with gold.
Gold is always trying to get out of the force of the water and to hide.
Right.
So it is shoved into the bank here, and it drops off where the curve goes around on the backside of that bank.
With a careful eye, John picks his spot, moving the bigger rocks by hand and the gravel below by shovel. Shovel after shovel, overburden slowly gains a coral hue, pay dirt. That is the cue to start sifting. With a pan full of water, gravel and soils are separated by a spinning motion, reminiscent of an old washing machine. The finer material falls to the bottom of the pan. The gravel remains, but before the scrapple is tossed, best to check it well.
You always scratch around. Look in the bottom. You could have a sapphire in the bottom, or if that nugget won't go through there, by golly, it's big enough it'll jump out at you like a neon light bulb.
Sure.
And so always check your gravel before you throw them out.
Okay.
With a little more than silt left over in the pan, the tedious task of panning begins. This is where the impatient fail and the prospectors sail. With a samba-like swaying motion, water and chaff gently spill over the edge, leaving all but the smallest and heaviest items in the bottom. With a little bit of luck and about 20 minutes of time, John strikes pay dirt.
Right here, you got several specks of gold there.
They're specks. They're awesome.
All them specks add up. The gold will not go out of that bottle. Make sure water is over it, and you turn that loose and suck up your gold.
Now, lest you think that this is all there is to panning, a new technology emerges. The dirt that is proven to bear gold is moved to a sluice box where Mother Nature and a healthy current will do the work for you. John explains that once you know where to find that pay dirt, sending your material through the cascade of a sluice box is a much faster method.
Yeah, there it starts coming over to the next section.
This is doing all that panning for you.
Isn't that nice?
So, like I said, once you've done your testing, find where you're getting the most gold in your trip. You put your gold pans down, your classifier in your bucket, you classify it down so you're not putting big rocks. Big rocks will bounce through there and hit your gold, knock your gold loose. So you get it down closer to your size of gold, and you'll recover a lot more gold this way.
So this is really scientific. You got to know what kind of ore you're looking for. You got to know how to read a stream so you know where it will be forced. And John explains not only where those places are, but why the gold gets there. And he would actually prefer to have you bring your own materials or your own equipment up so he can show you how to use your own sluice box. But if you want to buy it from him, he's got it. Now, $150 for a day's training, that's a pretty good deal. And you say, well, is it worth it at the end of the day? I'd say absolutely, but it's hard work.
Fly higher, go further, do more. Pursue your passion with Polaris, the world leader in off-road. Live wide open in a high-performance RZR. Chase adventure on a legendary Sportsman, or get more done with a hard-working Ranger. Enjoy savings up to $3,500 during the Polaris Factory Authorized Clearance.
Hi everybody, I'm Chad Booth. On the next county seat, we're going to be out of the studio and spending the day in rural Utah with Senator Mitt Romney discussing the issues that are important to the rural part of the state. We will be doing it in style. You will want to join us to find out what the issues are and why they're important to Utah. So be sure to tune in to the next County Seat, Saturdays at 11, Sundays at 8:30 on ABC4. Good for Utah.
Paris RV is blowing out all remaining 2019 inventory right now. Get the 2019 Viking 10 trailer 1706 XLS at only $81.72 or $99 a month, 0 down. Or the 2019 Mesa Ridge 26 BH bunkhouse at only $17,684 or $180 a month, 0 down. Or get the 2019 Puma 286 RBSS fifth wheel at $28,688 or $248 a month, 0 down.
If you want a super low price, you come see me at Paris RV.
Hey, you don't have to miss 1 second of adventure. Follow At Your Leisure on YouTube to watch full episodes or your favorite stories from the show. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on all of At Your Leisure's adventures.
This week's What's New segment is brought to you by Tunex. More than just tune-ups, on a hot summer's day, we are air conditioning.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I am Kurt Miles with Slick Rock Productions, and this is Jake Anderson. So we had a great opportunity to come down to Sand Hollow for Honda with At Your Leisure and check out the new release of the new Talons. We got an X and an R. We were able to go out, spend some time out there today. We did some dune riding, we did some rallying, we did some rock crawling. And today we're gonna focus specifically on the R. So the R is set up with a little bigger stance. It's got longer trailing arms on it. It's got 2.5 Fox shocks on it. It's set up a little bit more like a dune car, a little bit more like a trophy truck. And the things I really liked about this car, the things that stood out to me, is the steering is really responsive.
Right.
It holds a turn really well. You can really predict the car. When you're going through jounce and rebound, you're coming off the whoops, it just translates through the car really well. It's just a nimble car. The brakes are phenomenal on it. You can really dive into a turn and have some control. The differential setup, this is a really unique differential that Honda's come up with. And so if you have a wheel that slows down, it actually stops that wheel in motion and transfers power. So if you're rock crawling and you got a wheel come off the ground, instead of having a free wheel spin where it's coming down hard and getting into an axle and doing some damage, the computer senses that and stops it. And so it's got actual wheel speed sensors, which is new to this industry, which is a really cool revolutionary design that I like. The cockpit felt really good.
Right,
didn't get jounced around. I mean, it's just got a really good fit and finish inside of it. There's 2 platforms on the passenger side, so both of your feet can stay stationary. So you can put a little weight up against the back of the seat if you're in some rugged terrain, and that's a good feeling.
It is. It's nice to have that 4 points of contact as you're sitting as a passenger.
Right, right. And in most machines, I haven't been in a machine that's done that before, and it just has a different feel for a passenger. And you guys know if your partner that's riding with you is enjoying the ride, you're going to be out riding longer, and I like that.
So true.
Oh, the car itself is a phenomenal piece. I'm really impressed with it. We were really excited when this came out. The only drawback I found to it, it feels a little bit underpowered, but it also has something that makes up for that. Let's talk about the transmission. The transmission in this it has an automatic mode like any other vehicle does, but you can manually shift it, so you can utilize all the horsepower in the vehicle. So although I personally feel like it's a little bit underpowered, you can really maximize your RPM level when you're climbing and when you're playing around with that transmission. Right. And I think that's a really cool thing in this car. And I believe there's going to be a good marketplace for this.
Of course, they're Hondas.
So. It's a Honda. And we all know what Honda's known for: reliability, dependability. We know they make a good product. We're excited to see how the aftermarket world picks up on this. That's what we do. Slick Rock Productions builds cars. We do a lot of aftermarket parts. We have a lot of companies out there we do business with. And if the aftermarket world grabs onto this, it is going to be a fun game changer for sure.
This is Kurt. I'm Jake with Slick Rock Productions, and we'll be right back with more from At Your Leisure.
Fly higher. Go further. Do more. Pursue your passion with Polaris, the world leader in off-road. Live wide open in a high-performance RZR. Chase adventure on a legendary Sportsman. Or get more done with a hard-working Ranger. Enjoy savings up to $3,500 during the Polaris Factory Authorized Clearance.
Join At Your Leisure, the nation's longest-running outdoor adventure show, and Stedman's Recreation for the last big motorcycle ride of the season. It's the 10th annual Red, White, and Road event. Join us for the ride along Highway 12, the most scenic motorcycle ride in America, September 13th and 14th. Register now at AYLTV.com for $60 and get the ride, a lunch, and the luau-inspired gourmet dinner by award-winning barbecue chef Anthony Lujan. Hats, shirts, and prizes, all part of the excitement. September 13th and 14th. Space is limited, so sign up now at AYLTV.com.
When we go on vacation, I never ask, are we there yet? Because my daddy makes sure each stop we make is at Eagles Landing. They have such cool things for kids, like a petting zoo. They have the cleanest bathrooms on Earth, and Daddy doesn't freak out pulling up to the pumps, because they're really big and he says it's the best gas in the world. And you can get your tire fixed, like we had to. Oh, and their food is so yummy. Eagles Landing is so much fun, I don't care if we ever get there.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
You know, when you fly, you get your wings. When you shoot, you clip the wings. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're down here at the Smoke and Gun Club just outside of Mesquite. I'm talking to Jason Shaw, who manages and just kind of runs the facility down here.
Yep.
How'd you come up with the name?
Well, the family just come up with some different names, wrote them all down, threw them in a hat. That's the one we picked out. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. This is actually kind of cool because you've got some natural hunting-like terrain that the clays come out of. Is this a big draw down here?
It is, yeah. Yeah, sporting clays is a huge draw for most shooters. And then we also have ZZ bird shooting when it's open.
Okay, now you know that I had to ask you a few minutes ago what ZZ bird was. Can you explain that real quick?
ZZ bird shooting was designed to simulate live pigeon shooting. And since there's a lot of people in the country who don't like shooting live pigeons, they designed a clay that sets in a machine that has propeller-style wings.
So it's kind of like shooting a drone.
Very similar, yeah.
So how'd you do?
Oh, not too bad.
All right.
Did a few, might have scared a bird or two.
Scared a bird.
We were in life. It was fun, awesome.
Good. Well, we're going to break away from here right now to our Along the Way. We're going to join up with Reece Stein in Norway.
I'm Reece Stein.
And I'm Marianne Stein.
Along the way in the Atlantic Ocean off the north coast of Norway.
And how far north are we?
Well, get this. It's after midnight, the sun is still up, and it has no intention of going down for another 20 days. We're on an Arctic cruise heading for the northernmost point in all of Europe. And first, at 66 degrees north latitude, we cross the Arctic Circle, officially entering the land of the midnight sun. Monuments on the headland mark the spot, and paint marks us as we become members of the Order of the Blue Nose, an age-old Norwegian Navy tradition for first-time Arctic Circle crossers. Back in Hammerfest, we stumble onto the 6 o'clock feeding of internet sensation Vladimir in the town harbor. The alleged Russian spy beluga whale showed up here in April, fitted with a camera harness marked St. Petersburg, although the Russians haven't claimed him. When American and Paris Lindsay Rubicon heard about Vladimir, the former SeaWorld trainer rushed to Hammerfest and has been caring for him ever since.
And unfortunately, there's a lot we don't know about this animal and what his history is and where he's come from. What we do know is that he's a very sweet animal, very willing.
With Norway's help, Rubicon hopes to teach the whale to hunt on its own. This is Hammerfest, Norway. At 70 degrees north latitude, it bills itself as the northernmost town in the world. It may not be, but who cares? It says it is. The port of Honingsvåg is actually half a degree further north than Hammerfest, but isn't large enough to qualify as a town. At 71 degrees north, it's the northernest fishing village in the world. The Gulf Stream keeps the ocean ice-free, letting the 60-some residents fish for cod year-round. At equally picturesque Kamwevie, the 70 full-time mostly fishermen enjoy surprisingly balmy Arctic weather.
I don't know what I really expected, but they were villages, they had some stores, they had beautiful little ships, they have a fishing season, and flowers. I'm sure they're short-lived, but there are flowers, there are pansies, Arctic pansies, I don't know why.
At 71 degrees 10 minutes north latitude, North Cape is the northiest point in all of Europe accessible by car. On a 1,000-foot-high rock wall above the Barents Sea, the cliff-top globe monument marks the spot. A visitor center on the plateau includes a museum, gift shop, and cafe. Here, the midnight sun shines from May 14th to July 31st. And whether you visit the Cape or just sail by this unique part of the world is a fantastic voyage.
The thing that really stood out for me was the very top north of Norway. There's so much life up there for the people. The villages, the fishing, all of the things that they're doing, and it doesn't seem like it's that far north.
Reece Stein with Marianne along the way, high above the Arctic Circle.
For as long as I can remember, this is what we do. Rising early to take on the desert, owning our freedom, ripping our own lines in the sand, launching outside our comfort zone, chasing our friends to the horizon, and then back to the campfire. We're built for good times that last forever. But we are never able to get enough. This is what we do. Every weekend, every month, every year, we ride Can-Am.
I got to tell you, Mark, I've come to the conclusion you're like a pool player. We show up here and you're saying, I haven't shot in 20 years, but there are like 4 guys, a couple of them regulars, and you hit more than anybody else. So you're either really good or you're pulling our leg.
You know what? I think that's a little bit of luck. Probably. It's been a while. I shot a lot growing up. So.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm down here with Mark Yardley in Mesquite, not too far away from the Eagles Landing. And we've been over at Smoking Gun today, and I've had a smoking good time.
Oh, it's been an awesome time, and a very good smoking time. The guys down here are awesome. They put on a great time today. Yeah. The birds are amazing. I can't believe how tough this pipe stand is. It can be made to the point where you can't hit a bird.
Well, yeah. No, I couldn't hit a bird. You hit quite a few of them.
Well, I was lucky.
So what was your favorite pull out of here?
You know what? I liked actually my last one where he had the 2 and the 4. The one that was hard and then straight up. The straight up one was a fun one.
That straight up one, I think that's the one that I actually hit.
And you made a great shot on that one. And that's a tough shot. The time you want to catch that one's right when it hits the top.
Well, if you've never tried this before, this is a great place to start. You can come down to Mesquite. You can have a fun weekend of everything, and then you can include some of this gun range time. Maybe go rent an ATV and...
Exactly. Top it off with the trail ride. That's what I want to do right now.
Well, there you go. I just happen to know this guy named Josh Wilson real close to here. We can probably make that happen.
I'd like to do that.
All right, right now, though, it's time for us to take a look at our weekly contest winner.
This week's contest winner was sent to us by Sherry Phillips in St. George, Utah. Congratulations, Sherry. It looks like you're going to win a new Clearly Tough windshield for your rig. Clearly, the toughest windshields on the market. Visit clearlytough.com for more details. And it looks like you're also going to win that $100 gas and gift card to Eagles Landing, which is the best place to get that real gasoline Clear 91. Now, let's take a look at our calendar of events. September 12th through the 14th in Monticello, Utah is the 2019 San Juan ATV Safari, which is an epic 3-day jamboree with trails winding through the beautiful canyons that you just won't want to miss. That same weekend, September 13th and 14th, is the Stedman's 10th annual Red, White, and Road motorcycle ride, which features the amazing trip on beautiful Highway 12. And we'll be there, so we'll be looking for you. Then, that same Saturday is the Friends of the Paiute Trail Banquet, which features a fun evening of food and prizes, and 100% of the proceeds go back to support the trail system. Finally, September 21st in Roosevelt is the Lose Yourself 5K benefit run to help support a local wife and mother of 5 with her battle against brain cancer. Now, let's see what's happening on next week's show. Next week, we're off on a Daniel Summit summer excursion as we join the folks from UTV Utah and Carl Malone for a fun-filled ride in the mountains. Then, we'll learn about some of the history of the mining towns of Rainbow and Watson. Where are they? We'll find out as we visit the Outlaw ATV Jamboree. Finally, we are following the Stedman clan as they take us out for a fun-filled day of dirt bike races at the 2019 Sage Riders Desert Race.
Okay, I'm taking your word for it that I'm going to really be happy with this ethanol-free premium.
I promise you. So far, everything I've tried it in, it's worked. So I hope it does for you.
Looks like next week's show is going to be great. We had a good time down here today. And, of course, just before I point north and head back into Utah, figured I'd stop over here at Eagles Landing and get some of Mark's 91-octane premium ethanol-free.
Real gasoline.
Real
the best in the West, guaranteed.
There you go. Hey, I certainly had fun with you today.
Oh,
thanks for showing me around Mesquite.
You know what? I can't thank you enough, my friend. I've had a wonderful time today. I can't believe I didn't think I could even hit a target.
I was going to say, you had a wonderful day. He skunked all the rest of it. So anyway, like they say, oh, by the way, just this is a note you need to make. If you're coming from Salt Lake, do not put this into Google Maps, because you'll end up seeing the gun range, but you'll be on a barricaded road that says no trespassing and guns pointed at. Well, I don't know if there are guns pointed at you, but anyway. So
if you need any help when you get here, just stop in at our station. We'll give you directions to the gun club. What a great experience and a fun time today.
So if you can navigate to the Palms Golf Course from Mesquite, I guess that's the secret, right?
Yes.
All
and
right.
we can get you there from here.
There you go. Just remember, there's adventure around every bend.
Oh, for sure.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure at your leisure.
Thank you. What a wonderful day.
All right, Mark. Drive home safe.
Safe travels.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Thanks.